Welcome in, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. As always, go load it up in the shop. We have 30 items loaded in the shop, plus we have probably, the normal 30, 40, 50 books set aside ready to go. We're going to sell some pretty cool stuff today. As always, we'll do a mixture. We'll run through some of the pre-bids, but we're going to mix in mystery lots throughout the whole show. I think that's probably the best way to do it. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. YouTube is working awesome. Indigo Moon. Yeah, I figured I would stream. Hello to the YouTube chat. I'm not going to be paying attention to the YouTube chat, but you can hop over to Whatnot. I am Animal Vet 52 on Whatnot if you want to come bid on these items. We are selling some pretty cool stuff. As always, go check out all the items loaded in the shop. We'll get started here in about 2 minutes. Yeah, I thought maybe the YouTube audience. I posted a video a few weeks ago of a long-form video of me selling on Whatnot, but I am live right now on YouTube as well. We have some cool mystery lots today. We got one Wizard of Oz. We got a Alice in Wonderland set. We got some leather Charles Dickens. And we got a tip from Jay Campa. Thank you very much. As always, all the tip money goes to giving away free books at my bookstore. If you don't know, I have a bookstore in Marshfield, Wisconsin. I'm literally recording live right now from my bookstore. And all the tip money goes to give kids books. So thank you very much with the $1 tip, Jay Campa. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can beat yesterday's tip total. I think not yesterday. Today's Sunday, Friday night. I think we got $36 in tips on Friday. Yep, absolutely, Cecilia. Shoot, I think I always say your name wrong. We are going to get started here in just a couple minutes. Cecilia. Okay, I am right. Awesome. Cecilia Michelle. There's Vintage Pink. Mr. Vintage Pink in the house. Is Mrs. Vintage Pink watching? I didn't see her name yet. No, I don't think I have a copy of The Silent Patient. But thank you for asking. One second, I'm just going to check to make sure YouTube is up and running. It looks like it is. Hopefully that's working well. Actually, I think I'm going to share a link over in the YouTube. There we go. Just pasted the Whatnot link over in the YouTube chat. If anyone over on YouTube wants to come check out Whatnot. There's Mrs. Vintage Pink is in the chat. All right, both of you. I'm glad you are both here this morning. Let's get started. It is 10 a.m. Central Time. As always, I am here selling books every Sunday morning and Tuesday night. Plus, I've been doing a lot of pop-ups later. There's Beard King Picker in the chat. And there's Ellen. Welcome in Yona Books down in Georgia. Let's get started. Let's see. Do you guys want a couple mysteries? And then we'll do the preloaded items. Let's do a couple mysteries for you. I'm going to save the Wizard of Oz and the Alice till a little later because I know everyone wants those. So I'm going to wait a little while to sell those. Let's start with this one. This is The History of the United States by John C. Ridpath. Huge leather book here. Really good condition. I think the only issue is the inside hinges are splitting, which is pretty common for these big books, these oversized books that were too heavy for the hinges to last. But otherwise, the binding is nice and tight. This is A Popular History of the United States from the Aboriginal Times to the Present Day by John Clark Ridpath. Highly illustrated, 1883 on this one. I think there's a lot of illustrations and maps in this one. And again, a huge book. I'm going to run it as a 4-pound book, but I think it's definitely probably 5, 6, 7 pounds at least. Yeah, this one's cool, Tally. Tally, one of my future shows, I just loaded up some vintage psychology books. I think you will like. I think it's, I forget, maybe my September 5th show coming up. All right, 1883 History of the U.S. by John Clark Ridpath. Huge book on U.S. history. This is going to be lot number 1 of the day. 10 seconds on the clock and then 5 seconds on the rebid. Great copy right here of an antique U.S. history book. Looking for $1 on this one. 1883, History of the U.S. This covers all the way back from the settlers and the colonies and the Native Americans up through the Civil War, and then up through the 1870s and early 1880s again. Lots of great maps in this one as well. Marcella at 19, looking for 21. Marcella, you got it. Thank you very much. Maricela, there you go. Maricela, thank you. Lot number 1 is yours. I'm starting you a pile. All right, let's do one of the Dickens. We have 2 of these leather Charles Dickens. This is Bleak House by Charles Dickens. Great leather binding on this one. Great marbled paper on the covers. Marbled edges and marbled end papers. Lots of marbling on this one. It is not dated. It's Bleak House by Charles Dickens, the People's American Edition, complete in 1 volume. There's the decorative title page, and there's the frontispiece illustration. But it is signed by a previous owner, M.H. Wilkins, Louisville, Georgia, 1861. So that's why I'm saying this one is from the 1860s. Great leather copy of Bleak House from the 1860s. 10 seconds on the clock for the antique Charles Dickens. Looking for $1. Who wants a great copy? Look at the spine on that one. M. Thorns at 11 and 13. Looking for 15. Still a crazy deal on this one. Great condition. Tracy's hopping in. M. Thorns at 23. Looking for 25. M. Thorns, you got it. New customer number 1 of the day. Thank you, M. Thorns. Hey, I will give a shout out quick. Check out all the buy it nows in my shop. Actually, I just loaded a couple bundles of those Charles Dickens books in the shop. I think I just loaded up an Alice in Wonderland. I loaded up a couple Wizard of Oz titles. What else? There's a nice Les Mis set from 1893. So please go check out my buy it nows. If you click on my profile and click on my shop, then there's a little button to sort it by buy it nows. So that's how you can find the buy it nows. You definitely, when you got a little free time, you definitely want to check out the buy it nows in my shop. All right, let's run through some of the preloaded items. Lot number 1 of the preloaded items. This is Old Virginia and Her Neighbors by John Fiske. 2-volume set, limited edition. This is the edition deluxe. Very good condition on both of these books. Tight binding and tight hinges. It is Old Virginia and Her Neighbors by John Fiske in 2 volumes, published in 1902. This edition is really nicely illustrated. And there's the limitation page, 1,000 copies printed. This is number 801. Lots of great maps. A lot of stuff on colonial history, the settlers, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Look at that. Smith's map of Virginia, 1612. Not sure who that royal lady is. Nice illustrated set on colonial Virginia and New England. Thank you very much, Eddie. I appreciate hearing that. Limited edition. We only have a $1 bid on this one. Again, limited edition, number 801 of 1,000 sets printed. Nope, I don't think I have any Black's Law dictionaries at the moment. We got 9 and 10 looking for 11. We got 11 looking for 13. Great edition deluxe, John Fiske right here. Melissa, you got that one. New customer number 2. Wow, awesome. Thank you, Melissa. I like that we've ran 3 lots and we have 3 different buyers. Oh, cool. That's your son's name? That's awesome. Ernest Hemingway. Nope, I don't think. Oh, I have the Hemingway reader coming up here in a little bit. But I do run through the preloaded items in order, so it might be about 15 minutes before we get to that one. All right, up next, this is the Stories of Pilgrims by Margaret B. Pumphrey. And again, very clean condition on this one. Great looking book. Stories of the Pilgrims by Margaret B. Pumphrey. Copyright 1912 on this one. Nice little illustrated storybook about the Pilgrims. And again, very clean condition. We have a $7 bid on this one, looking for 8. This one is running. We got 9, looking for 10. T. Blakesley at $9. T. Blakesley, you got a new customer number 3. Wow, 3 in a row. 3 new customers in a row. That's crazy. Thank you very much, T. Blakesley. If you guys don't know, I sell books every Sunday morning and Tuesday night here on Whatnot. Mostly antiquarian books, but sometimes I do occult books and sci-fi and stuff like that. Yep, Indigo. I try to bring only really good condition stuff. Oops, am I skipping? Oh, there we go. Lot number 3 is the William Shakespeare set. Oh, no, I pinned the wrong one. All right, up next, we have 3 miniature William Shakespeare books. We have King Henry the Fourth, Part 1 and 2, and King Henry the Fifth. Very clean miniature books. These are tiny. They're about 3 inches tall. They're not dated. I think they're from the early 1900s. My best guess is maybe the 1920s. The Life of King Henry V by William Shakespeare, published by the Knickerbocker Leather and Novelty Company. And actually, the text is not tiny enough that you can actually read these. The text isn't too small to actually read these without your magnifying glass. 3 miniature Shakespeare books for the price of 1. We have a $21 bid on this, looking for 23. Justin's in at 21, looking for 23 on the 3 miniature Shakespeares. Very clean condition. Yep, Geraldo clean housed on the miniatures. Whatever night that was, Wednesday night, I think. Thank you, Justin D. You got it. $10 a pop. That was a great deal. Yep, Geraldo loved those. I don't think I had any Shakespeare last week, though. Up next, lot number 4 is Butterflies Worth Knowing. Let me get that one pinned. Hey, Joy, how are you? Good morning to you. I hope you're having a great Sunday so far. Here you go. Butterflies Worth Knowing by Clarence M. Weed, published in 1917 with the color plates. Looks like 48 plates, 32 of which are in color. So 32 color plates and some black and white ones as well. Let's see. Walter wants to know, in my opinion, is this a good site for high-end books? Yeah, absolutely. Walter, check out my show Tuesday night. Tuesday night, I have a lot of like $100, $200, $300, $400 books that I'll be selling. I'll be selling a 4-edge painting. That's probably at least a $500 book. So it takes a little while to build an audience, but if you bring really good books to the Whatnot crowd and you start them at $1, they do all right. I think Whatnot's a great place to sell the high-end stuff. Right here, 1917, Butterflies Worth Knowing. We got a $40 pre-bid. Someone's been hopping in there before I even started the auction. Yep, if you build it, they will come. Absolutely. Start things cheap, bring really good, clean books, and you can build an audience. Joy at 49, looking for 51 on this one. Joy, you got it. Thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate that. That was a really nice copy of that one. Lot number 5 is, the big one. Let's see up there. Lot number 5 is 1888 Excels Anthems for the Choir. Cool book of antique music, not sheet music necessarily. Good condition on the covers and spine. Looks like there's the previous owner's name written right there, Alice. Can't quite. 819 Central Ave. Though it doesn't say what city Alice was from. Oh, there we go. Miss J.E. Jones, 819 Central Ave. But again, no city for Alice. We know the street she lived on, but not the city. Consisting of solos, duets, trios, quartets, choruses, etc. 1888 on this one. Very nice condition of antique music. 10 seconds on the clock. Max is texting me for some reason. Excels Anthems for the Choir, 1888. We have a $1 bid, looking for 2. Really cool antique music book right here. Mr. Vintage Pink and Dan Beck hopping in. I was gonna grab. I had some more of the old leather ones, old leather music books from the 1850s to 1880s, but I didn't have the time to get them ready for this show. So at some point, um, Dan or Vintage Bank, send me a message if you're interested in more antique music books. I have a bundle of them. Otherwise, I'll bring them to future shows as well. $21 Vintage Pink. You got that one. I'm starting you a pile. Up next, this one's pretty cool. The Life of Charles Dickens by R. Shelton Mackenzie. Great condition on this one. Tiny little bit of cloth loss to the top of the spine right there. Otherwise, it looks pretty good with the gilded portrait of Mr. Dickens. Any old gospel? Yep, absolutely. Send me a message, or I'll try to remember to reach out to you. The front end paper is missing on this one. The rear end paper looks good. My show is at 5 p.m. Central, so 6 p.m. Eastern for you. Tuesday night, right here on Whatnot. You can check out. I have 75 items loaded in the shop for that one. Plus, there's going to be some pretty crazy mystery books as well. Life of Charles Dickens by R. Shelton Mackenzie. There's another portrait of Charles Dickens right there. This one is copyright 1870. Pretty great condition. Again, the front end paper's missing. Tiny little chipping to the top of the spine, but pretty darn good overall. We have a $7 bid on this one, looking for $8. We have 20, looking for 22 on this one. Justin D in the lead. Justin D, you got it. I'm putting it for your pile. Let's see. Thank you very much, Justin. Here we have our mutual friend, a nice little 2-volume set. These aren't dated. They're definitely early 1900s. I would guess somewhere in the $1,900 to $1,920 or 1920 range on these. Great embossed designs on the spine. Tight binding and tight hinges. Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens, 2-volume set. This one has 21 illustrations. Again, it's not dated, but it's definitely early 1900s. 2-volume set. We have a $1 bid on these, looking for 2. Nice little set of Charles Dickens. Justin at 7. Someone's chasing you, Justin. Justin at 9 and 11, looking for 13. Joy's in at 13, looking for 15. Joy got it. Thank you, Joy. All right, I got one more of these leather Charles Dickens in the background. This is Old Curiosity Shop, again, circa early 1860s on this one. Great marbled edges and marbled end papers. Old Curiosity by Charles Dickens, the People's American Edition with the decorative title page and the frontispiece illustration. And then there's the signature of the previous owner, J.M. Wilkins. It looks like Belmont, Georgia, 1861. Hey, Justin, how are you today? Very nice leather, circa early 1860s. Old Curiosity Shop. 10 seconds on the clock for this one. Let's go. Who wants it? Great looking leather Charles Dickens. Circa early 1860s. We have 17, 19, 23, 27, 28. Looking for 30. J Camp, I have 52, looking for 54. Joy at 57, looking for 59. Good morning, Brianna. How are you today? J Campa at 62, looking for 64. J Campa, you got it. Thank you very much. Let's see, J Campa, I'm starting you a pile. And hey guys, go check out my Buy It Nows because I just listed 2 bundles of those leather Charles Dickens in the Buy It Now. I know they're going to get snagged up. This show probably. There's 2 bundles of 3 loaded up in the shop. Let me check. No one's bought it yet. I'm checking my email. I don't see an email that anyone bought it, but I have 2 bundles of other books from this set in the shop. If you click on my username and go to my shop, then there should be a Buy It Now button to sort it by my Buy It Nows. And I would guess that the 2 bundles are definitely going to sell So feel free to go check it out. I think you guys will like the price on them as well. Thank you, Jake Gampa. Let me do a little rearranging, and then we'll get back to some of the preloaded items. All right, lot number 8 is Sartor Resartus by Thomas Carlyle. What a great binding with the, what is that? Is that holly? Are those holly berries? I think they are. And then you got, looks like you have grapes on the spine. Yep, holly. That's what I thought. Tight binding, tight hinges. Hey, Bert, how are you today? Sartoris Resartus by Thomas Carlyle. Yeah, this is a great binding. I don't know too much about this one. It has quite a variety of contents. Better. What was wrong, Bert? Copyright 1900. Looks like there's a few illustrations as well. And again, absolutely gorgeous binding on that one with the gold details there and then the holly on the front and rear cover. I always like it when they decorate the rear cover as well. It's not necessary, but I always appreciate that. We have a $1 bid on this one, looking for 2. Crazy deal right here, starting at nice and cheap. Great binding. Okay. Bert's doing better. That's great. Indigo Moon at 23. Indigo Moon, you got it. Thank you so much. Yep, I think that's your first one today. Yeah, the next one's I think kind of a similar from the same publisher. So you might like that next one too. This is Lala Rook by Thomas More. We have a $4 bid on this one. This one, it looks like, what are those flowers? Are those violets? That's my guess. Violets, and then the gold grapes and lilies on the spine and cover. Lala Rook, tight binding, tight hinges by Thomas More. Copyright 1900 on this one. 10 seconds on the clock. We only have a $4 bid. Let's go. Who wants it? We have 17 and 21 and 23. CDK home at 25, looking for 27. Yep, very pretty. I agree. Thank you very much, CKD. I don't think, has anyone snaked the Charles Dickens in the shop yet? You definitely want to check out the Charles Dickens I put in the shop last night. Same as the last 2 leather ones I sold today. I would guess someone's going to snag those up. Plus, I listed a really nice Alice in Wonderland, a nice copy of Les Mis, 2 Wizard of Oz books. I put some Charles Dickens sets in the shop as buy it nows. I think you have to click on my profile and go to my listings, and then you can sort them by buy it nows, and that's where you'll find the 2 sets of Charles Dickens. I did 2 bundles of 3, and I would guess they're going to sell by the end of the show. So if you can find them, I think someone's going to like those. All right, lot number 10 is the Ernest Hemingway reader from 1953. Okay, CKD. Yeah, everyone, please go give CKD home a follow. Anyone else that if you have any shows coming up, put it in the chat. Yeah, I have a pretty big Instagram page. I don't really sell much on there, but I know there's lots of people that do very well on Instagram. Yeah, the Popular History of the U.S. on my Tuesday show. That one's pretty darn awesome as well. Copyright 1953. Ernest Hemingway reader. You have For Whom the Bell Tolls, Green Hills of Africa, Stories, The Old Man in the Sea, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, you definitely need to give Whatnot a try. It's a lot of fun. We have a $1 bid on this one, looking for 2. The Ernest Hemingway reader. We have 3 and 4, looking for 5. CD, you got it. Thank you very much. CD 6014. Thank you. Yeah, great deal on that one. Up next, we have the Kurt Vonnegut. I gotta take Urban Bandit. I know she's always looking for Kurt Vonnegut. I'm gonna give her a take quick. Hopefully, she can make it in. Ooh, and then up next, we have the 4 Bachman books by Stephen King. That's a really hey. If you guys want to go comp something out quick, go search Bachman books. 4 novels by Stephen King. This is the 1985 paperback, and even the 1985 paperback is pretty darn valuable. All right, Kurt Vonnegut. This one has Slaughterhouse Fives, The Sirens of the Titans, Player Piano, Cat's Cradle, Breakfast of Champions, and Mother Night. Thank you very much for sharing the stream, Tara. I appreciate that. Really good condition on this one. Copyright 1980, I think I put in the title. No markings or rips or stains or anything like that. There is a previous owner's name on the top of the dust jacket. Let me tip that up so you can see it. 1980 Kurt Vonnegut, 10 seconds on the clock. Let's get it going. Who wants it? We have a $1 bid on this one, looking for 2 on the Kurt Vonnegut. Can you believe it? $3, looking for 4. Joy for 4. Thank you very much, Joy. That was a great deal. All right, we have the Stephen King. This is actually a really good one. 1985, the Bachman books, 4 early novels by Stephen King. It has Rage, The Long Walk, Road Work, and The Running Man. You can't find the buy it now option. If you click on my username, and I guess maybe it's different if you're on the computer. I'm not 100% sure. Let me pull it up once. If you're on your computer, and you go to my shop, and then you click by sort by, no, not that. You click next to the sort by button. There's a little toggle switch looking thing that you can sort category, by price, format. You click by format, and then you can click buy it now. Yep, by format. Thank you, Brianna. Brianna knows. And then I have 66 items loaded up. If you search Charles Dickens, you should be able to find the 3 Charles Dickens bundles I have that way. Or if you're on your phone, it's similar. You sort by, oh, someone just snagged them 3 minutes ago. Who bought it? I don't know. Someone bought them. Thank you for whoever bought one of the bundles. I appreciate you. There is still one more bundle of Charles Dickens up in the shop, though. I did 2 of them last night. Thank you for whoever bought that. I am going to work on loading up more buy it nows for y'all to shop in your free time and during the show as well if you want to. The Bachman books, 4 early novels by Stephen King. This one is copyright 1985. Really good condition. I didn't see any rips or markings or underlining or anything like that. I think there's a few illustrations as well. Nice big paperback. And again, if you look on eBay, you're going to see sold comps in the like $65 to $100 range. We have a $42 start on this one. Looking for 44. Still a great deal on this one. Early Stephen King. Yep, this is the pricey one. 46, looking for 48. We have 50, looking for 52. L. Wells is holding strong. Someone's chasing you, though. L. Wells, you got it. Great deal for you. LG Wells. Great deal for you. That was actually a really good one. It's just a paperback, but the Stephen King Bachman books can be pretty pricey. All right, we got a couple more Stephen King. This is a 1992 edition of Gerald's Game. Very nice dust jacket. Great looking book underneath as well. Gerald's Game by Stephen King. Looks like it's published by Viking. I'll show you the copyright page. It doesn't look like it's a first printing. It looks like copyright 1992 on this one. Very clean book all the way through, and a great looking dust jacket. We have a $1 bid on this one, looking for 2. Nope, I am going to sell that Road to Oz. Yep, absolutely. That Road to Oz is one of the mystery lots today. I'll run that one. I'll tell you what, I'll run that Wizard of Oz book after. I got one more Stephen King, and then I'll do the Wizard of Oz. Can you show the nursery book? That one is coming up here in a few lots. I try to run all the preloaded items in order. But then the mystery lots are there's no specific order at all. But that one will be coming up. Here we got The Regulators by Richard Bachman. Great condition on this one. And this is a first trade printing, October 1996. Very good condition. The Regulators by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. 10 seconds on the clock for that one. The Regulators by Stephen King. First trade printing, October 1996. Looking for $1. M. Thorns at 1. M. Thorns. Nope, Joy's hopping in at 2. I was going to say, you almost snagged it for a crazy deal. Joy got a deal for 2. Thank you, Joy. All right, let's do The Wizard of Oz. This is The Road to Oz by L. Frank Baum. This is one of the mystery lots today. I didn't have it loaded in the shop. This is one of the surprises. Tight binding and tight. Yep, both of the inside hinges look good. There is a name written right there. The previous owner, Kate Duff. The Road to Oz by L. Frank Baum, illustrated by John R. Neal. Copyright 1909, but I do believe this is a later reprint, probably from the 1930s or 40s, is my best guess on this. Great illustrated edition of The Road to Oz by L. Frank Baum. 10 seconds on the clock. Mystery lot of the day. Let's go. Who wants it? Starting at $1. Who wants it? Very clean condition. Most of the time I find Wizard of Oz books, they have rips and tears. The covers are usually falling off. There's usually some crayon scribbling. The kids love the black and white illustrations. A lot of times they treat it like a coloring book. CDK home at 23. Great deal for you, CDK. All right, let's get back to some of the, well, let's do a few more mysteries. Here you have the Practical Garden Book. There's Mr. Barrel-Aged Books in the house. How was your show last night, Henry? I checked, you were going late, weren't you? The Practical Garden Book, containing the simplest directions for growing of the commonest things in the house and garden, published in 1901. Great, look at that. Look at all the farm tools, the garden tools. How to grow squash, how to grow roses, how to grow plums and petunias, morning glories and mulberries, herbs and hibiscus, etc., etc., etc. A nice little illustrated book on gardening from 1901. You ended at 12:30. Wow. 10 seconds on the clock for the 1901 gardening book, illustrated book on gardening. $19.01. Nice illustrated book on gardening at 9 and 10, looking for 11. Dan Beck at 10. Dan Beck got that one. Hey, Wishpenny, how are you today, Julie? Henry, when's your $1 start show coming up? I really do think you should plan a $1 start show and just see how it goes. Like, get like 20 bucks and hope for the best. I mean, I'll come bid on stuff for sure. This is the history of King Charles II of England. I love this binding with the sword and wreath on the front cover. Nice condition. A little bit of staining there on the spine. Tight binding and tight hinges. King Charles II by Jacob Abbott, published in 1900. Yeah, do a daytime show or like a 5-6 p.m. at night, Saturdays and Sundays. It seems like there's more shoppers, but then there's also more sellers. So it's kind of a double-edged sword what time you go. King Charles II of England. I love the cover on this one. Cool biography of King Charles II of England. Looking for $1. Again, published in 1900. We have 8, looking for 9. Great. I love the cover on that one. Indigo Moon for 17. Indigo Moon, got that. I'm putting it on your pile. That's 2 for Indigo Moon. All right, up next we have Madame Roland. Again, part of the Makers of History series. Very clean condition. Again, I love that sword and wreath. Tight binding, tight hinges. Madame Roland by Jacob Abbott, published in 1900. Let's see, who was she anyway? Madame Roland. I'm guessing she's French. You got the Jacobins and the I don't know how to say that word. The Girondists, and then you have the Trial and Execution. Chapter number 12, the Trial and Execution of Madame Roland. Yeah, great condition for 125 years old. I agree. Looks like she was some sort of French royalty, I do believe. Looking for $1. What a cover on that one. And yeah, published in 1900. French writer and revolutionary. Okay, thank you, CKD Home. Appreciate that. Joy at 8, CD at 9, Joy at 10. Joy got that one. Thank you, Joy. Let's see. Up next, we have Joseph Bonaparte. I believe he was French royalty. Yeah. These are great books. And I know they made these in a lot of different style bindings. They had a red set. They had kind of a white, kind of leatherette looking set. Yours blue. Oh, the blue ones. I do love the blue ones. I think I have a couple of the blue ones on eBay. I had a couple odd volumes of the blue ones as well. Those are great. The blue ones are great. Yep, Cecilia has the red ones. It's between this and the blue ones, I think, for my favorite of the bindings. Joseph Bonaparte by Jacob Abbott. And actually, I think there's a couple leather style bindings as well. Published in 1900, Joseph Bonaparte. Again, there's maybe like about 10 illustrations in each of these titles. Tenders and fries and honey mustard. That's Barrel Age's favorite. Yep, the Bachman sold. Darn it. I think it went for 50. All right, History of Joseph Bonaparte, published in 1900. Cool book on French royalty. No, Jay Campa, the Charles Dickens is here on Whatnot. If you can find it after the show, I can always send it to you. But I know one of the Charles Dickens bundles did already sell. But if you go to my profile and click on the shop, there should be a way to sort it by buying format, and then you click buy it now, and that's how you find it. Thank you, Joy. $10 for you. Up next, you have History of King Richard III. Let's see, King Richard the First and Second, I think were in the Crusades. Looks like he has the history of the scenes of the Civil War, so he might have been at the last end of the Crusades. King Richard III. History of King Richard III of England, illustrated 1899 on this one. 126 years old, very nice condition. History of King Richard III. I think I have 2 more of these, and then we'll get back to the preloaded items. And again, I just like that front cover. And it's King Richard III of England. Joy at 17, looking for 19 on this one. Joy, you got it. Thank you so much, Joy. 3 in a row for Joy. All right, here you have history of Alfred the Great. I believe he was medieval Europe. History of King Alfred the Great of England by Jacob Abbott, 1899 on this one as well. Again, tight binding, tight hinges. Very nice looking cover on that one. Starting it at $1. Oh, Barrel Age is hopping in on this one. Oh, Barrel Age. Joy at 17, looking for 19. Are y'all out, Henry? Thank you for the bid, Henry. I appreciate that. I appreciate the backup bidders just as much as the high bidders. This is Life of Peter the Great. There's some staining on the spine. and a little bit on the covers, but otherwise it's holding together fairly well. Tight binding and tight hinges. Life of Peter the Great by Jacob Abbott, published in 1900. Oh, okay, LG. Yeah, yeah, you did get it for 50. Good job, proud of you. Yeah, I could have just looked at the pile, but yep, it did sell to you, I believe, for $50. That was a great deal. I was telling the chat that most of the copies of that one that sell on eBay is usually in like the $65 to $85 range. The most recent sales, so you got a pretty good deal at 50. Life of Peter the Great. Again, this is the last of the Makers of History set. Yeah, I know. It's just a paperback, and like the prices on eBay are crazy. So I'm glad you got it. Life of Peter the Great. Again, good condition, except for a little bit of staining on the spine. Joy for 10. Thank you, Joy. All right, let's get back to some of the preloaded items. What are we? Whoops. We are on lot number 15 of the preloaded items. We have Alhambra and Wolfert's Roost by Washington Irving. Great looking book, circa the 1880s. I don't think this one was dated, but some of the other books in the set had publishing dates of like 1880 to 1882. Tight binding and tight hinges. There is a book plate inside the front cover. Alhambra and Wolfert's Roost and Other Papers by Washington Irving, again, circa 1890s. And this one has a lot to do with medieval era Spain and the Moors and Granada, stuff like that. And a great looking spine on this one. We have a $3 bid on this one, looking for $4. Great looking book and interesting topic as well. JFed at $3, looking for $4. What a spine. Oh, JFed at 8, Joy at 9, looking for 10. Joy got it. Joy's cleaning house. Thank you, Joy. Let's see. Lot number 16 is the Riley's Song of Cheer by James Whitcomb Riley. Great looking cover. Really, really clean condition on this one. And look at that. Look at the little bird on the spine. Yep, I agree. CD took the words right out of my mouth. Great spine. Riley Songs of Cheer by J. Whitcomb Riley. Nice illustrated edition and a great looking binding and great condition. Everything you want in a book. Copyright 1905. Show you the few of the illustrations. Nice little illustrated book of poetry. Great cover and great spine. We have a $1 bid on this one. Again, copyright 1905. Look at the bird on the spine. Can't beat that. And the condition. The condition is pretty darn good. We have 2 and 3, looking for 4. CD at 5. Great deal for you, CD. Thank you. All right, up next we have lot number 17. This is Why the Chimes Rang by Raymond McDonald Alden. Great looking cover on that one. Very good condition. Why the Chimes Rang by Raymond McDonald Alden, illustrated by Mayo Bunker. Copyright 1909 on this one. Great decorations on it. It looks like every page has an illustration or a decoration. $19.09. Why the Chimes Rang. This is lot number 17. Let's go. Who wants it? Great looking book right here. 1909. Why the Chimes Rang by Raymond McDonald Alden. Then the nursery book is coming up. I know someone in the chat wanted to see the nursery book. That is lot number 18. Dan Beck, you got it for 15. Thank you, Dan. All right, lot number 18. This book is so cool. The Nursery, a monthly magazine for youngest readers. Very clean condition. This one's 1871. And again, you guys are going to see why I like it here in a second once I start showing off the pages. I mean, highly, highly, highly illustrated. Look at that. Illustration, 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 illustration. I mean, I would say almost every page, maybe every page hasn't. Nope, not that one. Nope, that one does. Maybe every page has an illustration. Okay, call you Daniel. Okay, Dan Beck is Daniel. I will do my best to remember that. Look at that. Great book of mostly short stories and nursery rhymes and fairy tales. I think there's some poems. Yep, there's some poems as well. 1871, The Nursery, a monthly magazine for the youngest readers. Highly illustrated. Almost every page has an illustration or sometimes multiple illustrations. The dog smoking the cigar, yeah, or the cigar. I saw that. Pretty funny. I mean, there's some really, really cool stuff. I wish I could spend 10 minutes showing this one off. Daniel instead of Danielle. Got it. Wait, it's Daniel instead of Danielle. Okay, gotcha, Danielle. Daniel. All right, $13 on this one. Looking for 15. Really, really cool illustrated children's book from 1871. Highly illustrated, very clean condition. And again, hundreds of illustrations in this one. Very nice condition. A lot of cool stories and nursery rhymes and fairy tales. There you go. There's the dog smoking the cigar. Joy. Oh, you're late. Okay, wait. Is it Danielle or is it Daniel? Is it pronounced Danielle? Thank you, Joy. You got that one. Appreciate you. Now I'm confused. Do you pronounce it like Danielle? Lot number 15. Okay, Danielle. Got it. Okay. Gotcha, Danielle. Lot number 19 is Mr. Possum's Great Balloon Trip by Albert Bigelow Payne. Looks like we have a $4 pre-bid on this one. Very good condition, tight binding and tight hinges. There's a name written on the front end paper. It looks like this was owned by Bill McIntyre. Mr. Possum's Great Balloon Trip. Copyright. Looks like this one was published April 1915. I love the animated animals. Look at that. The badger and the possum and the crow wearing suits. There's a crow smoking a pipe. Speaking of smoking animals. There's Miss Piggy walking with her Sunday dress and the picnic basket and her umbrella. 1915, Mr. Possum's Great Balloon Trip by Albert Bigelow Payne. We have a $4 bid on this one, looking for 5. I like the antique storybooks where the animals I forget what's the word. What's the word when animals take on features like humans and they talk and they dress like humans? We are at 21, looking for 23 on this one. There you go, anthropomorphism. Yep, that's the word. Indigo Moon, you got it. Thank you. Yep, thank you. Thank you. I never would have remembered that. I knew there was a word for it, but definitely was not going to be able to think about it. All right, again, this is another one by Albert Bigelow Payne. This is Making Up with Mr. Dog. Yeah, thank you, Indigo. These are really cool. Making Up with Mr. Dog, published in April 1915. And again, lots of illustrations of crows and possums and dogs and all the other animals wearing human clothing and talking and all that fun stuff and having houses and stuff. All right, 1915, Making Up with Mr. Dog. We have a $3 bid on this one, looking for 4. Anthropomorphism. I've definitely heard that word before, but I couldn't think of it. We have 11 looking for 13 on this one. Danielle at 13. Woodland Witch at 15 looking for 17. Woodland Witch, you got it. Thank you, Woodland Witch. Oh, this next one's pretty cool. This next one is a book by Victor Hugo, but it's about William Shakespeare. So it is William Shakespeare by Victor Hugo. Nice leather binding. The spine is kind of scuffed. I don't know how the heck that happened. The spine got a little scuffed, but the covers look good. Tight binding and tight hinges. This is William Shakespeare by Victor Hugo, translated by A. Billot, illustrated, limited edition number 190 of 500 copies. Okay, cool. Yeah, he'll love that one. That's kind of a fun one. Cool book about William Shakespeare by Victor Hugo, and it's a limited edition. No date, but I said circa 1890s. Very interesting title. Man of Genius. Let's run a great looking leather book, but the spine somehow got a little scuffed. We have $36 bid on this one, looking for 38. Limited edition number 100 of, I forget how many copies were printed, so it is a limited edition of 500 copies printed. Justin got that one. Thank you, Justin. All right, up next we have 3 old leather Swedish books. These are from, let's see, copyright dates 1928 to 1937. Great looking books. Looks like that one has something to do with, I'm not even gonna even pretend to know. Great looking leather books from the 1920s and the 1930s. This is The Flying Something by Richard Halliburton. He was a great traveler and explorer. So this is about Richard Halliburton, his travels around the world. A lot of illustrations of his airplanes and all the different places he visited. Plus, you're getting 2 other great books. Again, 1928 to 1937 on the bundle. We have a $7 bid for the 3 books, looking for 8. Three books for $14, looking for 16. Still a crazy deal. Yeah, pretty books. They are in Swedish. So most of them were published in Stockholm. Great for decoration and reading if you want to practice your Swedish. Joy got it. Thank you, Joy. Next, this one's pretty cool. This is The Secrets of Magic by Walter B. Gibson, who was an associate of Blackstone, Houdini, and Thurston. Nice condition on this little booklet. A little chip on the top of the front cover, but otherwise, this one looks pretty darn good. The Secrets of Magic by Walter Gibson, copyright 1945. This has all kinds of cool stuff on cards and coins and handkerchiefs and ropes and dice. A lot of cool card and number type tricks. And again, it's illustrated as well. That's pretty cool. I probably should have taken Square Trade Company. I think he would love this. Matchsticks and dominoes, etc., etc., etc. Nice little paperback booklet. We have a $1 bid. Again, 1945 little booklet on magic by Walter B. Gibson, who was an associate of Blackstone, Houdini, and Thurston. 1945 illustrated book of magic. Dave's Sales Emporium got that one. Thank you, Dave. I'm starting you a pile. Speaking of Dave, where's Dave Lee? Let's give him a tag. Thank you, Dave. Next, we have a nice copy of the John Deere Machinery Repair Manual. This is the Operation, Care, and Repair of Farm Machinery published by John Deere. This is the 19th edition. Not dated, but I think this is from like the 1930s, 1940s era. Look at that, trademark of quality John Deere. 19th edition, highly illustrated, has everything on John Deere tractors, planters, plows, and cultivators, corn pickers, all the different types of harvesting equipment and planting equipment. There's potato planters, corn planters, etc., etc., etc. Again, circa 1930s, 1940s, I think. Probably 1930s on this one. We are at 8, looking for 9. Dave in at 10, looking for 12. And there's a fly. That's been bugging me. Get away, fly. Dave at 15 and 18, looking for 20. Still a great deal for this nice of a copy. Dave got it. Thank you, Dave. 2 in a row. All right, let's keep it going with the preloaded items. Then we have lots of, no crickets today. The crickets are quiet. I did catch one yesterday, but I know there's still a couple more still here in the store. And the problem is when you get close to them, they go quiet. They know you're coming to squish them, and they get quiet. So they're tough. They're tough to catch. This is the Automobile Handbook from 1924. Kind of a limp leather, not quite a hardcover. Kind of a limp leather cover on this. Tight binding and tight hinges. The Automobile Handbook. Look at that. It was sold by the Greer Shop Automotive Training in, well, it was on 2024 Wabash Avenue. Is that Indiana? Sounds like Indiana. The Automotive Handbook by L. Elliott Brooks, illustrated, copyright 1924. Yep, 1924. Oh, you have a miniature version of something? I've seen the smaller ones, that are the ones that are like 4 inches tall. I don't know if I've ever seen this larger Automotive Handbook, but I have seen the small ones. Nice illustrated book. Look at that. Oh, check out that. Look at the examples of the old cars. Look at that. The 2-passenger Roadster. That's pretty cool. The 5-passenger touring car. That's awesome. 1924 Automotive Handbook. We have a $4 bid on this one, looking for 5. 1924 illustrated book on fixing and on auto repair. Pretty darn cool. Lots, and again, there's looks like over 300 illustrations. Dan Beck got that one. Thank you, Dan. This one is cool, and I think this one's probably pretty rare. This is the Useful Information for Businessmen, Mechanics, and Engineers, published by Jones and Laughlin's Limited in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This one, definitely miniature. It's about probably 2 inches, maybe a little less than 2 inches tall, and probably about 3 inches wide. Yeah, the car stuff is cool. This, if you're looking for miniature books, this one's tiny. Like I said, less than 2 inches tall. Cool little book for business math, and stuff like that. Where's the title page? Well, there we go. Useful Information for Businessmen, Mechanics, and Engineers, compiled by C.C. Briggs, published in 1901. So this has all the cool like math and money type stuff, but then it also has advertising for this company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There you go. You got some of their heavy machinery type tools and parts. And again, all the stuff on math, fireproofing floors, how to build bridges, beams, dams, metalwork, construction. And again, it's a miniature book. Yep, great ephemera. Look at that. It even has gilded edges. The gilt is a little faded, but it does have gilded edges all the way around. Again, about 2 inches by maybe 4 inches, maybe 3.5, 4 inches. We have a $13 bid on this one. This is probably the rarest book of the day. Cool little miniature bugger. Useful Information for Businessmen, Mechanics, and Engineers from 1901 with the Jones and Laughlin Limited, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania advertising. Definitely the rarest piece today. Dave, you got it for 25. Thank you, Dave. That one was pretty cool. I definitely thought about keeping that one for my personal collection. Up next, you have 1852 Enterprise, Industry, and Art of Man. Another really, really cool title. Great condition, 1852. You guys are going to love the contents in this one. The enterprise, industry, and art of man as displayed in fishing, hunting, commerce, navigation, mining, agriculture, and manufacturing, 1852. Really cool book. Look at that. You got fisheries, you got whale, cod, herring, mackerel, you have hunting, cattle, buffalo, bears, the fur trade, commerce, you have voyages of Columbus, Magellan, Sir Francis Drake, the North Pole, the South Pole, the East Indian Company. Mining, you have coal, iron, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, salt, etc. You got the lumber industry and logging. You have the agriculture, tea, sugar, coffee, tobacco, cotton, and wool. And then you have other manufacturing of cotton, woolen, silk, linen, and iron. Very cool book on all the different industries, all the different types of mining and logging and navigation and travel, the fur trade, hunting, fishing, whaling, etc. Really cool book. We have a $21 bid on this one of my favorites of the day by far. And look at that spine. 23, looking for 25. Crazy cool book right here from 1852. We are at 26, looking for 28. Yep, this one's amazing. And a great spine, great condition. Dave for 26. Thank you, Dave. Crazy deal for Dave. That was one of my favorites of the day. Yep, and another cool spine for sure. Lot number 28. Like I said, we're going to run through the rest of the preloaded items. Then we will get onto the mystery lots. I got piles of stuff ready to go for you for the mystery lots. We'll try to run through a bunch of those today as well. Lot number 28, the Book of Common Prayer. I don't think it's dated. My best guess is 1870s. There's the previous owner's name written right there, Alice E.T. Great condition on this one. Diocese of Rochester. The only issue is the spine hardware is missing on the back cover. If I was going to keep this one, I would probably pop this one off or have a professional pop that one off or just put new clasp hardware over the spine. Tight binding, tight hinges. Look at how tight that binding is. Great looking gilt all the way around. And then when you open it, actually the gilt opens to the red. It's kind of like a 4-edge painting, not quite, but similar where it's gold. And then you open it and it opens up to red. Nice big lettering. Look at how big the lettering is on this one. This is probably a 9 or 10 inch tall book. So the lettering, I mean, it's almost large print. The Book of Common Prayer, Administration of the Sacraments for the Church of England, and the Psalms of David as well. Published in Oxford again. No date. I'm guessing right around the 1870s is my best guess on this one. And then plus there's some amendments dated 1872. So I think that was also a little context clue as well. So you have the Psalms of David, and then you have the Book of Common Prayer that has stuff on matrimony, confirmation, baptism, all the different church holidays and stuff like that. Very nice looking book. Yeah, this is good. And again, with the owner name there, great looking binding. We have a $35 bid on this one. This one is pretty darn special. And again, nice big lettering that you could actually read this one pretty comfortably. We are at 39 and 43, looking for 45. Yep, definitely. With the ownership, inscriptions are pretty darn unique. Dave, Sales Emporium. Dave got it. Thank you, Dave. All right, 2 more preloaded items. Then tell you what, we will run the Alice in Wonderland, plus all the other mystery lots as well. Lot number 29 is the William Faulkner novels. This is Library of America with the slipcase. Nope, I don't think I have any Bibles today. Hey, check out my show on Tuesday. I have a really nice leather Bible coming up Tuesday night. A really, really nice one. William Faulkner. This is 4 novels: As I Lay Dying, Sanctuary, Light in August, and Pylon. It looks like it's an 11th printing, copyright 1985. Very clean condition on this one. 4 novels by William Faulkner with the slipcase. Very clean condition. We have a $1 bid on this one, looking for 2. Really nice William Faulkner at $1. Justin at 7. How's the YouTube doing? Everyone doing good over there? I'm not watching the comments. I'll check the comments after the show. Feel free to go over to Whatnot if you want to bid on any of this stuff. Yep, Tuesday's my big sale that I've been talking about. I have 75 items loaded in the shop. I think I'm going to load up a couple more items for the show, but Tuesday's show is going to be pretty crazy. Justin D got that one. Thank you, Justin. All right, last preloaded item of the show. Great leather binding on this one. This is the Poems of Childhood by Eugene Field. Probably one of the more collectible and sought after titles by Eugene Field, with a, I mean, really, really, really clean spine on this one. Okay, yep, see you Tuesday, Wendy. Have a great Sunday. Very clean condition on this one all the way around. Tight binding, tight hinges with the great marbled end papers. Let's see. The Poems of Childhood by Eugene Field, published by Charles Scribner's son in 1896. Great frontispiece. I think there's a few other illustrations as well. Googly goo. Of mornings bright and early, when the lark is on the wing and the robin in the maple hops from her nest to sing. From yonder cheery chamber cometh the mellow coo. 'Tis the sweet persuasive tremble of my little googly goo. There you go. Beautiful little book of poetry by Eugene Field, kind of nursery rhyme type stuff from 1896 with the extremely clean leather binding. We have a $19 bid on this one, looking for 21. Look at how clean that spine is. Poems of Childhood by Eugene Field. Great looking book of poetry at 25, looking for 27. Crazy deal right here. Alec got that one. Thank you very much, Alec. I'm starting you a pile. All right, we are on to the mystery lots of the show. We have, I have probably 30 different books ready to go. Wow, I made it through 41 items in 1 hour. Not bad, a little over an hour. We have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, published by Random House. Very clean. Again, most kids, when they got Lewis and Carroll, Alice in Wonderland, they read them and they used them, and they did not end up this great a condition. This is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, 2-volume set by Lewis Carroll. This one has the John Tenniel illustrations, but they've been colored by Fritz Kreidel. Copyright 1946, special edition 1946, with the original illustrations, but they've been colored by a illustrator artist of that era. Again, 1946 copyright date, special edition, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. 10 seconds on the clock for the pair. Let's go. Who wants them? Really nice 2-volume set with the colored illustrations. And again, very clean condition. If you're looking for a nice set of Alice, it doesn't get too much better than this as far as condition and cool color illustrations as well. We're at 25 with Yona, 27 with Indigo, looking for 29. Still great deal right here. We have 28 with Vicky. Last call. Nope, Indigo's hopping in. Great condition. Indigo, you got it. Thank you so much, Indigo. Let's see. All right, what is this? Snug Corner series. This is Flat Iron for a Farthing. Great looking binding right there with the Edwardian lady and her umbrella looking out over the sea. Tight binding and tight hinges. A flat iron for a farthing, or some passages in the life of an only son by Julia Horatia Ewing. No date, definitely circa like 1900 to 1910 on this one. Great condition. Great condition, tight binding, tight hinges. The pages look nice and clean. The cover looks great. and a cool looking binding. 10 seconds on the clock. Looking for $1. We have 4, looking for 5 on this one. Great deal for Indigo Moon, Woodland Witch at 5 and 6. Who got it? Indigo Moon got it for $6. Great deal for you, Indigo. Thank you very much. All right, what is this one? Industrial Electricity. Cool antique textbook. Tight binding, tight hinges. Looks like this one was used by Jason C. Civis in Oak Park, Illinois. Industrial Electricity, Direct Current Machines by William H. Timby, 1927. Great illustrated book on electrical work. Really cool if you know someone that's an electrician. I think they would love this book. 1927, generators, magnetic currents, electromagnets, let's see, etc., armature wiring, electric motors, generators, etc., etc., etc. Really cool book. 1920, what did I say? 1927. First edition, second printing. Oh, Indigo loves Oak Park, Illinois. I don't think I've ever been there. 10 seconds on the clock for this one. What was the title? Industrial Electricity from 1927. Cool textbook right here. Dan F3 looking for 4. Dan, you got it nice and easy. Thank you. All right, here's a cool old kids book. This is John Martin's Big Book, number 14. Nice condition. A little bit of paper chipping on the spine, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Tight binding, tight hinges. John Martin's Big Book for Young People by John Martin's House. Let's see if there's a date. Yep, copyright 1930. Cool antique storybook. Really, really nicely illustrated one. And this book is huge. The Weather Vane. I move with the wind and obey his wills, and when he is quiet, there I stand still. When I look to the east, the skies are gray, with a promise for you of a rainy day. How to draw. You got pirate, you got rabbits, you got more pirates. You have the little princess, you have that wise owl. How to knit, how to draw, you have music. Really cool book, 1930, John Martin's Big Book. Again, good condition. You know these antique kids books did not always survive very nicely. Looking for $1 on this one. The 1930 John Martin's Big Book. Highly illustrated. Woodland Witch got that. That was a nice illustrated book. Woodland Witch for 7. Thank you very much. Oops. Oh, we have a few Tarzan books. The Beast of Tarzan by Edgar Rice Burroughs. I have a few of these coming up. Actually, on Tuesday, I have a signed Edgar Rice Burroughs coming up. And then in a couple weeks, I have more Tarzan scheduled for a show. The Beast of Tarzan by Edgar Rice Burroughs, copyright 1916. This one looks to be in pretty good condition. Looks like it's illustrated as well. 1916, Beast of Tarzan by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Pretty good condition for Burroughs. A lot of times the cover hinges are split and the spine is pretty worn whenever I do find these old Tarzan books. M. Thorns for $1. Great deal for M. Thorns. Thank you very much. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this one was pretty cool. The Law in Shakespeare. Tight binding and tight hinges. Really, really interesting title right here. The Law in Shakespeare by C.K. Davis, 1884. Cool book relating to the law in the works of Shakespeare. Very interesting title for sure. Party verdict. The verdict is a criminal case is either general or partial. And again, it shows you the works of the Shakespeare. Like this is King Richard II, Act 2, Scene 3. So cool book relating to the law in the works of Shakespeare. Very interesting. 1880, what did I say? 1884, the law in William Shakespeare's works. 10 seconds on the clock. And again, really nice condition on this one. Great title. Woodland Witch F5. Again, 1883 on this one. Woodland Witch, great deal for you. $5. Thank you. All right, here's a great looking binding. The Man in the Camlet Cloak. Great condition on the covers and spine. The inside hinges are splitting and have been glued. So this one's kind of in fair condition. The Man in the Camlet Coat being an old writing transcribed and edited by Carlin Bateson. Oh, there's Art Turner. Welcome in Rare Books USA. Published in 1903. Again, the inside hinges are splitting and have been glued. The binding looks nice and tight. And what a great looking cover on this one. The Man in the Camlet Cloak from 1903. Looking for $1. Great binding for sure. Again, kind of fair condition, but incredible binding. That one's gorgeous. Indigo got it for $5. Thank you, Indigo. Let's see. There's a few of these cookbooks. The Encyclopedia of Cooking. This one has culinary terms, herbs and spices, oven meals, chafing dishes, rotisserie, and then spots and stains. I thought this one was pretty cool. It's very retro, 1950s. Copyright 1958. Great illustrated cookbook from 1958. And again, it has herbs and spices. It has chafing dishes, etc., etc., etc. And again, highly illustrated, very, very retro book right here. This one is straight out of Grandma's basement for sure. 10 seconds on the clock, 1958. Encyclopedia of Cooking. Again, this one has herbs and spices, chafing dishes, rotisserie, dealing with spots and stains, culinary handbook, culinary terms. CD got that one for $2. Thank you, CD. All right, I do have a couple more of those. This one is stuffing and dumplings, table settings, vegetables, weight control, wines, wine cookery, and the Young People's Cookbook. Again, highly illustrated, 1958. Look at that. You got Halloween, easy tricks for Halloween. Look at how nicely illustrated this one is. Lots of great photo illustrations and step-by-step guide for making all kinds of stuff. Again, 1958. Encyclopedia of Cooking, Volume 11. Stuffing and dumplings, vegetables, wine cooking, and then the Young People's Cookbook. And again, hundreds of illustrations. Vintage Farm Girl find. You got it. New customer number 5 of the day, I think. I lost count. It's been a while since we had a new first-time buyer. Thank you very much, Vintage Farm Girl finds. Appreciate it. All right, I got 2 more of those. This is volume 3. This one has cakes and tortons, candy, carving guides, and casseroles. What a great lineup. Beef casserole, carving your turkey. Oh, look at that candy. We got magic bourbon or rum balls. You got coffee fudge. You got chocolate bonbons. You got Christmas dignity fudge. You have cradle cake. You have sponge cake. You have 500 different kinds of cakes and casseroles. Yeah. Yep. Look at that. Look at that. Birthday cake. Let's go. Yeah. Let's check out some of the casseroles. Salmon cheese pie. Chicken batter pudding, chicken with vegetables, veal, chop and potato bake, meat pie, Hungarian goulash. I I mean, very cool book with a little bit of ephemera. I'm going to leave that in there for you. A little piece of ephemera. 1958 Encyclopedia of Cooking with cakes and tortins, candies, and casseroles. Great selection of recipes right here. 10 seconds on the clock for this one. Again, 1958 Encyclopedia of Cooking, cakes and tortins, candies, and casseroles. Vintage Farm Girl at $1. Thank you, Vintage Farm Girl. All right, last one of those, and then we'll get back to some crazy antique, beautiful bindings. This one has beverages, breads, biscuits, and rolls, and buffet meals. Again, 1958 Encyclopedia of Cooking. I just thought these were cool retro cookbooks. Nope, I don't think that one I have that. I don't think I have that title, Sud Nathan. Vintage Farm Girl. Got it. Thank you. All right, we got a couple pretty bindings here. This is the works of Bulwer. Looks like volume 9. Great looking spine and cover on that one. Tight binding, tight hinges. This is the dramatic works of Edward Bulwer Lytton, volume 9, with those titles right there. No date, but I will definitely say circa 1890s on this one. Great illustrated book in very nice condition. 10 seconds on the clock for that one. Great looking book. Volume 9, circa 1890s. Illustrated works of Bulwer. Very nice condition. Yona at 10. Yona got that one. Thank you, Yona. Appreciate it. Let's see, Yona, is that your first one today? I think it might be. I'm starting you up high, Yona. Yep, it is. Thank you very much. Next, we have the works of Charles Reade. Again, I only have one volume of this set, but it's a gorgeous book. This is volume 3, I think. Great condition, tight binding and tight hinges. The works of Charles Reade, volume 1, It Is Never Too Late to Mend, Peg Wolfington and Christine Johnstone. Again, no date, but definitely 1890s. Nice illustrated edition of Charles Reade, and a really pretty binding, I thought. Very nice condition. Great full page illustrations in this one as well. Look at that. Circa 1890s, the works of Charles Reade, volume 1. Great looking book. Looking for $1. Great Victorian binding on this one. We have 6 and 7 and 8. Gorgeous Victorian book right here at only $9. You all are getting the deals now. Woodland Witch, you got it. Thank you, Woodland. All right, is anyone into old yearbooks? I know these are pretty valuable on eBay, but they can take a little while to sell. This is the Tabula yearbook from 1929. Look at that. That one is signed with all kinds of different students and stuff. 1929, 1930, and 1934. I'm going to sell the bundle. This is the Tabula yearbook out of Oak Park, Illinois. Who said they liked Oak Park? Someone in the chat did. Cool high school yearbooks. It looks like, oh no, actually, one second. It looks like it's a group of short stories. Tabula magazine, or periodical, whatever you want to call it. Book of short stories out of Oak Park, Illinois. These are actually really, really cool. And that one is signed. Max, I'm glad you came in for this. Max, look at this. This is the Tabula out of Oak Park, Illinois. I thought it was a yearbook, but look at that. It is a group of short stories put out by students in Oak Park, Illinois. I think Max is going to like this one. Look at that. It is signed by all of the authors. I don't know. It's not quite a yearbook. It's more of like a student. They wrote short stories. It's not quite a yearbook, though. It's more like the students wrote short stories from 1929, 1930, and 1934. You're getting all three for the price of one. Pretty unique item. Again, this one looks like it's, I would guess it's signed by all the authors. 10 seconds on the clock. You're getting all three periodicals. Yep. Yeah, these are cool. I thought they were yearbooks, but I didn't even look. Again, that one is signed, I assume, by every student that wrote an article or a short story in this. Cool book of short stories. Probably pretty darn rare. You're getting all three for $9, looking for 10. The Country Living got new customer number 6 of the day. Thank you very much, The Country Living. Thank you so much. Oh, we do have a copy of Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Looks like a great leather spine on this one. This is a modern printing, but if you wanted a great, beautiful copy of Wuthering Heights to read with the gilded page edges. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, copyright 1983. Looks like it is a Franklin Library / Oxford University Press printing. Really nice condition on this one. Yep, Max. I'm going to try to drag it out 30 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it quite that long, but I'll do my best. 10 seconds on the clock for the nice leather copy of Wuthering Heights. Looking for $1. Cast Bet hopping in at 3, looking for 4. Country Living at 4 and 5. Nice gilded page edges, really good condition. Cast Bet, you got it. Thank you, Cass. First purchase of the day, I think. All right, I have a few of these. These I thought were really cool. They're like French travel guides. Visages of Flandre. I don't know how to even say that. It's part of the Horizons of France series. Oh, what did you buy in the Buy It Now? What did you buy in the Buy It Now? Let me check my... Did you buy the Charles Dickens? Oh, no, you bought the Medusa and the... Okay, I think you bought the Medusa and the other mythology one. Yep, awesome. Thank you very much. Yep, I put some pretty cool stuff in the Buy It Now of the show. I did sell a set of Charles Dickens as well at the beginning. Horizons of France. This is part of the Horizons of France series. Cool, like travel guides in France. And this one, Visages of the Flandre. I don't even know how to say that. Horizons of France, published in Paris. It is in French. Copyright 1949. And I think all of these have like folding maps and folding plates and illustrations, different stuff on scenery and artwork and architecture and archaeology of France. Highly illustrated. Yep, there's another folding map. And again, 1949 travel guide to whatever part of France this one covers. Very cool. Highly illustrated. Everything on the farming, the artwork, the pottery, the churches and cathedrals. And again, I see 2 maps in this one. 1949, Visages of the Flandre. 10 seconds on the clock. And again, cool heraldry there on the front cover. I thought these were neat. And really nice condition for a paperback with 2 folding maps. Pretty cool. Great looking cover for sure. The Country Living at 11, Fan at 13, looking for 15. Fanilla got that one. Thank you very much, Fan. I have a few more of those. I think they're all really cool. I don't know too much about them. I looked on eBay and most of them are in France, so you probably have to pay about 15 bucks or 20 bucks just to ship one of them. Visages of Dauphiné. Again, I don't know if that's a province in France, but what a great looking cover. Tight binding, tight hinges. This one is 1950. And again, with the folding map. I think some of these have folding scenery views as well. And again, I just thought the covers were great. Yep, here's a folding scene. There you go. Vienna in 1606. That is a scene of Vienna in 1606. Pretty darn cool. There's another folding scene right there. This is Dessen. There's another folding one. And again, lots of cool stuff on architecture, the local cultures. I'm not 100% sure what part of France this one covers, but it's from 1950 and a great looking cover. 10 seconds on the clock. Honestly, I think Flanders. Oh, Flanders is in Belgium. That makes sense. Visages of Flanders. Oh, this one's Dauphine, though, wherever that is. And what a great cover. Very nice condition. This one is 1950. Yeah, last one was Belgium. The Country Living got that. Thank you, The Country Living. Whoops. Country Living, your payment is pending. You might have to update your payment quick. Should hopefully just take a second for you. This is Visages of Savoy. Again, part of the Horizons in France series. I'll give you a few seconds to update that Country Living while I show this one off. Sometimes it fixes itself. I don't know why Whatnot does that. Sometimes it has issues. I think they all have a map. Let me find the map for you. Yep, there's the map. Great 2-page map on this one. Copyright 1947. Whoops, sorry, the camera's getting blurry. There we go. 1947 with the folding map. And what a great looking cover on this one. Visages of Savoy. 10 seconds on the clock for this one. Very nice condition. This one's 1947. Very clean condition all the way around. These are so cool, these vintage kind of travel guides. Vanilla got that one. Thank you very much, Vanilla. All right, this one, Visages of Assisi. I'm going to look that one up quick to see where that is. Yep, this is a region in France. See, there you go. Alsace is a French region. Yep, no worries, Flan. Appreciate that. Fan, not Flan. This is Visages of Alsace, which is a region in France. Printed in France, in French. Oh, little piece of plastic. You don't need that. Cool piece of ephemera in there. Lots of cool color plates. And again, I think they all have Up by Switzerland. Okay, ooh, you're even going to get this huge color postcard. Wow, 1964 color postcard. And it has a novel written on the back, a handwritten letter on the back. You're going to get that. You're going to get this huge book. Oh, there's the title page. 1948 with the folding map. These are pretty cool. Again, I looked on eBay and most of these obviously are still in France. So if you buy one, you're going to have to pay $20 just to ship it from overseas. Great book, Visages of Alsace with the cool color castle postcard. 10 seconds on the clock again. This is a book on the history of a region in France. Kind of a cool travel architecture type book with a map. We're at 8, looking for 9. Fan got that one for 8. This next one is probably my favorite of the covers. This is Visages of Franche-Comté. Again, I assume that is a region in French, and what a crazy cover on this one. Again, part of the Horizons of France series. This one is copyright 1945. So actually World War II one. This is pretty cool. 1945 World War II era book on a region in France with the folding map in front. I don't know how valuable this one is, but considering it's World War II, it probably... There's another map right there of Lorraine, the Lorraine territory in France. Lots of cool color plates of the different fashions and stuff. Another color plates of some of the decorative ceramics. Lots of stuff of architecture and sculpture and art. And what a killer cover on this one. 10 seconds on the clock. And then we have one more after this. Looking for $1. 1945 on this one with 2 folding maps. I think this one is pretty special. Just because that cover, I think it's pretty cool. Fan got that one. Thank you, Fan. Last one of this series is Gascogne and Bern. Again, Visages of Gascogne and Bern. The Horizons of France. Yes. Yeah, definitely very Harry Potter-esque on that one for sure. Let's see. Visages of Gascogne and Bern, published in Paris in 1948, with the folding map right there. Geography of the region, people. Let's see if there's any other maps. You got lots of architecture and castles and cathedrals. There's another map. Artwork and painting. Absolutely incredible book right here. You have a folding plate of the different dresses of the area. 1948, last one of these series. These are pretty darn cool. I think they should be bringing 20 to 30 bucks a piece probably, but we'll see. Last one. Oh, Mustang Sally's hopping in on this one. We have 6 and 8 and 9 looking for 10. Bat Marsha at 10. Bat Marsha got that one. Thank you, Bat Marsha. New customer number 7 of the day. Thank you, Bat Marsha. All right, what's this leather one? I don't even remember. Oh, this one's really cool. The Illustrated Scripture History for the Young by Reverend John Howard. This is volume 2 with 320 engravings. This isn't dated. I'm guessing, I think this one is from the 1850s or 1860s. It's pretty early. And again, highly, highly, highly illustrated with 320 engravings. Of all the different Bible stories. This one is pretty darn special. Judas sells his master. Christ before Pilate. Judas hangs himself. Highly illustrated book. Tons and tons of plates. And again, volume 2. Very nice condition leather book. Highly, highly illustrated. This one is pretty darn special. 10 seconds on the clock for the Illustrated Scripture History. Again, circa mid 1800s, maybe 1850s, 1860s. These are crazy money on eBay. Alec at 10, looking for 11 on this one. Alec, thank you very much, Alec. Let me find your pile. All right, let's do one more, and then I think we're going to call it a day. I'm going to figure out who to raid you off to. Let me check who's live right now in the book category. Let's see if there's anyone we know. Maybe we'll go a little longer. Green one. Yep, I'll sell the green one. I'm gonna let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna send a message quick. Okay, let's sell a few. Well, we'll go another 10 or 15 minutes so I can raid Max. This is the Bible storybook. It is in German. Huge book right here. Highly illustrated, tight binding, tight hinges, very nice condition. Most of the copies of this one, I find the inside hinges are splitting pretty bad. This is the Bible storybook, 1890 in German. Highly, highly illustrated. There's probably a couple hundred illustrations in this one. I think there's a few Doré illustrations as well. Wow, look at that. Look at those crazy monsters. 10 seconds on the clock for the 1890 Bible storybook in German. I know good copies of this one in English can bring good money. This one's in German, so it's probably a little more rare than the English ones. And again, really good condition. Most of the time I find them at a minimum, the inside hinges are going to split, and this one looks pretty darn good. Highly illustrated German Bible storybook. Dan Beck at 19 and 21 and 23. Can we get 25? Still great deal in this condition. Dan Beck, you got it. Thank you, Dan. All right, this one's pretty cool. Human Nature, A Guide to Its Understanding by Judson Rhea Butler with the dust jacket. Very cool advanced level technical book. This is published by the Department of Psychology at Boston University. Yeah, hey Max, if you want to hop on in the next 5 or 10 minutes, let me know when you're ready, and I will raid you off as soon as you, no rush, but as soon as you're ready. 1933, cool book on psychology, good habits and bads, warring habits, what is a suggestion, controlling others through partial identity. Okay, 7 minutes, I will raid you as soon as you're live. Freud's explanation. I cannot believe that we are still teaching Freud at universities. Kind of crazy, some of the stuff that he was doing. But yeah, still theories, but you know, he was doing some weird, wacky stuff. 1943, what did I say, 1943? Let me check the date. Nope, 1933, Human Nature, A Guide to Understanding, published by the Department of Psychology at Boston University. This one is pretty cool. 10 seconds on the clock. Let's run it. 1933, Human Nature, A Guide to Understanding by Judson Rhea Butler. Very cool book on psychology with the dust jacket. Great looking underneath the dust jacket as well. Marcus Panda, thank you, Marcus Panda, new customer number 8. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. We're going to sell a little while longer, then I'm going to raid you guys off to Common Ground Finds, and then he's going to sell some antique books. Well, actually, you guys need to stick around for Common Ground Finds. I saw he had a really cool Lord of the Rings in a red leather binding that I've never seen. He has a very old set of the life of George Washington. You missed your book, Steph Kitty. Which one? The butterfly one? I figured you wanted that butterfly one for sure. This is Stories of Great American Leaders. George Washington, Abe Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, and Stories of Great American Explorers and Pioneers. You got Pocahontas and John Smith, Columbus, Henry Hudson, Lewis and Clark, Juliet and Marquette, Miles Standish and the Pilgrims, and Daniel Boone. Let me get a date on one of these for you. 1941 on this one. Nice illustrated book on American presidents, leaders, explorers, and pioneers. Rarities Upon the Shelf has a show tonight, right? At 7:30. Everyone, please go give Rarities Upon the Shelf a follow. Check out his first show tonight. 10 seconds on the clock. 1941, Explorers and Pioneers and Great American Leaders, George Washington, Lincoln, Jefferson, and Franklin. At $1, looking for 2. CD, got that. Thank you, CD. All right, let's see what else we got. We got a few more cool things, and then, like I said, I'm going to raid you off to my buddy Common Ground Finds. Yep, I think that's 3 butterfly books I've sold in the last like week and a half. Isn't that crazy, Steph? I don't think I have any more after that though. So after that, it's it. Yep, I can do the food book after this one. And then I'm gonna raid you off to my buddy Common Ground Finds. General Bacteriology by Jordan. Cool antique book on bacteria and diseases. General Bacteriology, illustrated 3rd edition, 1913. Cool. This book would have been used in med school in the early 1900s. It looks like there's a bunch of illustrations. I saw a color illustration of some sort of bacteria in this one. 1913, General Bacteriology by Edwin O. Jordan. 10 seconds on the clock. We're going to do this one and then probably a couple more. Then I'm going to raid you off to my buddy Max. 10 seconds on the clock. 1913, General Bacteriology.